Hi and welcome to the Awakening Energy. I'm Skeed. Yes, we're going to be doing a little activation today, but I'm not going to be using my hands. I'm just going to radiate out the energy. So reach out and connect to the energy from the screen. During today's transmission, I'm going to be talking about fear. Yep, you heard me right. Fear. A negative thing so built into us. It's used to control us on mass scales. So how do we battle fear? It's a good question, isn't it? If you don't want to listen to fear and you just want to receive this powerful energy transmission, that's fine, just turn the volume down. Put on some music, maybe from Skeed Magic or Dreamy Freedom, my other channels. I create my music. But for those that do wish to listen and learn how to heal from fear, the biggest fears to overcome are the mental fears created by our limiting beliefs. And those are the ones that these companies that in theory don't exist anymore, like the Cambridge Analytica, the ones that mass media uses to manipulate supposedly there aren't any facts about it, to manipulate votes and all those things, the ones that control the masses using very simple, blatant, obvious techniques to anyone that studied mentalism or NLP. But we're not getting political here, we're talking about fears. Though you can't really separate the two, however, not the point. So if you have mental blocks, fears, these could be fears that you're not good enough, fears that you're not beautiful enough, fears that you won't be able to, fears that, so many mental fears. I mean, the list can go on for hours and hours and hours. But so how do we let go of these fears? Well, first of all, one of the best ways to attack getting rid of fears is if you have any physical fears, not just deep mental, emotional ones that have no physical connection to anything. It is to confront those physical fears. What do I mean? So, for example, I had a comment the other day asking about this, and this is the answer I gave them. And I thought it would be great for a wider audience to also understand the same thing. So, for example, if you have a fear of spiders, a very, very general, typical fear, confront that one. How do I confront that one? Those types of fears you can confront by immersing yourself and becoming friends with spiders. Now, find a spider. Or get a friend to put a spider in a box for a short while. Don't leave it in there. A live spider in a box. So it can't get out, so you're completely safe. And you have it sitting next to you for an hour, 2 hours before releasing it. Find another spider, another day. Keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that. Until you get used to having the spiders around. It's the same as fear of dogs. What's the best way to get over a fear of dogs? Get a dog. No, I'm not saying get a dog permanently. You have to get a dog for the right reason. But get someone to lend you a dog for a weekend. Hire a dog. Yeah, that's even a thing now. Hire a dog for a weekend. Fear of flying. Get on a plane. Fear of swimming. Get in a swimming pool. Obviously start where you can stand up. Work into it. Whatever it is, that's the way to confront a physical fear. Immerse yourself in it. You can go through several of them, bit by bit, step by step. Once you see that you can overcome those fears, you can overcome any fear. And this is where we get into the demon feeding. Because fear is built into us. Fear is a natural thing. When we feel fear, our sympathetic nervous system kicks in fight or flight mode. So of course, in evolution, if a pack of hungry lions were coming towards us, we wanted that. Yep, to escape. Unfortunately, in our society, we don't live correctly. We sit at desks, we have constant stress, and all these things that are useful when we live correctly, not as work ants in a massive system, get out of whack. And then they are programmed into us to make things worse. So once you have taken the spider, sat it next to you, once it's been in the jar, then obviously, after a time, maybe you put 2 spiders in jars for a short while, then release them. And then once you're comfortable, obviously you don't put it in the jar, you just put it on the table and let it crawl around for a while. And then you make the step, obviously, make sure it's a spider that can't bite you, isn't poisonous. It's what internet's for, look it up, and let it crawl on your hand and see how cute they are. See how helpful they are. You know, the spiders in your house. People get rid of the cobwebs in the house. I don't. Those cobwebs are there. They help keep the environment clean. It cleans all the bugs that comes in my house. They're very useful little animals. And because spiders are nice and kind and they make them up in the corners of the house, it really doesn't bother me. No one really notices them. So it also helps to shift our opinion of spiders, doesn't it? To these horrible little creatures, to these useful creatures that help us. So we do the same in demon feeding. When we put together the point of fear is there to protect us, we understand this, and that spider is also helpful, put this together. So we are afraid of something. We have fear inside us. Social fears. The fear is there to protect us. It's what it's for, to keep us safe in our little bubble. Unfortunately, when we're safe in our little bubble, we don't grow, we don't experiment, we don't live. And the thing that the fear is keeping us from is actually useful to us, like the spider. So in demon feeding, in shadow work, in general, spiritual growth, this is very necessary for spiritual growth, to work on fear. Fear is keeping me from my spiritual growth. Spiritual growth is good, it's great, it's friendly. Suddenly fear is not. Again, I hope you see clearly what I'm talking about here. So you put a chair in front of you in your imagination, take the fear out, put it in front of you, thank it for its time. Don't just do this as a visual exercise. No, you really have to do it as though you were talking to your best friend in a real physical situation. Don't go through the motions, feel it, everything. As I've said in previous videos, it's better to do this when connected to the Kundalini energies, because it just helps release resistance. What Kundalini energy does, it helps release resistance on many levels, physical, emotional, and the energetic bodies. It's one of the things it does. And thank it for protecting you and being there, and acknowledge it was there, trying to be helpful to you, because it was the fear. Or whatever it is that produces the fear. And then tell it that you no longer need to be in fear. You no longer need its help. Let it go. Let go of the resistance to letting it go. And that's where the Kundalini energy comes in and helps. The other thing you can do, as another viewer pointed out who took one of my courses, there's a course I have on the Udemy website, and it's a course that could help you go through this process. It helps you talk to the voice of your protector, and the voice of fear, and the voice of, I sum it up. That's in the description, link below. So if you're having problems with fears, perhaps you might want to take that course. Said there's a link below to the course. Go check it out. But for those who have enough information with what I've said, just go through the steps. The other way might be slightly faster. And just go through the steps. Shadow work. Fear is a shadow. The shadow doesn't mean evil entities attached to you. It might do. But for 99.999% of the people, shadow work is exactly that, working on the negative aspects of your subconscious, created by fear and anger and those that prey upon us, or try to. Just set your intention, if you haven't already, for the remainder of the video. Release your fears. And of course, another way to release fears sounds bizarre. It's just through what I've literally just said, setting your intention to release fears whilst receiving Shaktipat or the Kundalini activation energy. Might not be a direct way to do it. Depending on how deep-rooted your fears are, it might be a faster way to do it. Could also be a slower one if your fears aren't that bad. And that's one of my dogs barking in the background. Namaste.